Welcome to the 7th video in the Path to Stability, or subtitle, A Path to a More Quality Life. We have our greatest responsibility, no matter what we do, is to manage this valuable life that we've been given. And what we're talking about right now are tools that you can use that will help you to manage your life effectively. As a human being, your personality has to be managed. Your character has to be managed. Your emotions have to be managed. Your thinking has to be managed. Dealing with the things that seen and unforeseen that comes with your life has to be managed. And so what we're dealing with are tools in doing that. In our last video, we gave you the tool of practicing acceptance. Again, I want to reiterate that acceptance is not laying down and taking whatever comes. Acceptance is immediately consenting to receive whatever already has happened that you cannot change. And you're willing, instead of fretting about that, being lost in that, losing time in that, you're ready to move on and deal with the other things that may be coming. And that's very, very important. The second tool I want to just mention, and I've touched it, but I want to go back and talk about it because it is the anchor, really, of this whole series. The practice of living in the present moment is also important. And in other words, I call it living in the now. And what living in the now simply does, our tendency is to be lost in our head. I don't know any other way to say it. We're lost in our head. We either spend a lot of time thinking about what happened and what could have happened and what didn't happen, and going back and reliving experience for years and years. Those thoughts are just recycled in our minds. So for so many people, they're literally living in the past. You can be emotionally charged about something that happened 30 years ago like it just happened. And so that's not living in the present moment. That's living in the past. Or for some, it'll be in the future. What am I going to do? Everything's changing. What's going to happen with it? What if I lose a job? Am I going to make my money? Is this going to happen? Am I going to lose my health? Who's going to take care of me? And so we get lost in the future, in tendency to fear and worry and doubt concerning the future. And so you are arrested from functioning in the now that's actually going to make your future better. And so living in the present moment helps us to get away from being trapped in our head, in stories that may never happen, or in conclusions about what has happened that may not even be accurate, and therefore it leaves us in a state of dysfunction. Being present is literally creating the space between our electrified thoughts and emotions, and then functioning in that space. In other words, the time of response to events that are going on, or how we really feel, what we need is to create space. If you get angry, and all of us will at times, there are things that'll make us angry, instead of just responding, flipping somebody off or telling them off or quitting the job or turning over tables, instead of doing that, we're able to say, why am I so angry? If, generally speaking, if people say things about you, it really shouldn't bother you if it's not true. If it is true, they've helped you because maybe there's something you need to do about it. But living in the present moment actually creates that space. So you can actually begin to see, okay, discouragement is not a trait of my life. Why am I discouraged? I'm feeling pain and I'm feeling hurt. That's not a given. That's not me. Pain is not me. So the question becomes, why am I feeling pain? Why am I so painful about this? Or why am I upset? So it's functioning in that space. Again, what creates that space is your ability to be able to stop and connect with your breath. Feel where you are and just be where you are. That's really, really important. So practicing living in the present moment is a major, major key. Very few people do that. When they're talking to a person, they're talking through them. They're not with them. As a matter of fact, they don't even know the person because they're talking to a projection of their own mind. They did studies years ago on race relations, and what they realized was that when blacks and whites would see each other, they wouldn't even see each other, because the whites would see the projection in their head about what a black person is, and then the black person would see the projection in their head about what a white person is, and they would never meet and connect because they couldn't be present. And so being present is it's so very, very important. Let me also mention this. When we are connected to the present moment, listen to me carefully, our thoughts and our feelings go from being a still, impenetrable fortress to simply being transparent. You see, when we are afraid, those emotions of fear seems like a fortified brick wall out of which we can never get out of. If we're experiencing hatred or anger, it seems like a brick wall that we can never get out of. If we're experiencing despondency, it seems like a concrete structure just as firm and that we can never be free of. Trying to shake the feeling of, I can't make it, I can't do it, can seem like a concrete wall. But when we live in the present moment, all of a sudden, it all becomes transparent. Your ability to see through your anger, to see through your pain, to see through your discouragement, to see through your despondency is what actually opens the door for you to really begin to move forward. So living in the now, again, it has to do with us stopping, breathing, and settling down so, again, that we can really be aware. Many people do not even know themselves. They're not aware. They don't really see where they really are. Some people say, well, I have trouble with people all the time. What they really think, though, is that the trouble starts with everyone else. What they never see is their own contribution. And so the present moment allows you to really see that, and your emotions and your thoughts, your mind becomes transparent. You can actually see through it. Now, what I like for you to do is just take a moment and stop right where you are if you can. Or I say close your eyes. You don't have to, because as you practice this will become a way of life for you. You can practice your breathing while you work. You can be aware of your breathing while you work. You can be aware of your breathing while you drive. Certainly keep your eyes open there. But breathe in, breathe out. You feel your chest rising. You feel it falling. Fresh air goes into the lungs, is distributed throughout the body. All of those things happen when we breathe. But what that does is that helps us to be calm and not be lost in thought. I trust that you've enjoyed the video. Be sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube, and I encourage you to do that. Click subscribe. You can be a part of the channel. My channel is Roger for Wisdom, Roger, the letter 4, the number 4, and then Wisdom, Wisdom. Roger, Roger, the number 4, and then Wisdom, Wisdom, no spaces. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. There's much more to come. Have a good day.